Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be doing a review on the new French Shine collection from Olens. I can't really say French Shine properly, I think like my tongue, but pardon me. I wanted to do this review after I came back from my trip. If you guys haven't watched my Olens new jeans, definitely check that out. But new jeans are like the new muses for Olens. Then there's a couple of contact lens here that has been featured in the members. So I was waiting for one of the color, which is the grey, to arrive in order to do this full collection video for you guys. I was really excited to actually get this because I really want to do a comparison of this French Shine with the French Gold collection as well, which I will mention at the end of this video too. But without further ado, we're going to get this video started. First, this comes in 3 different colors: Hazel, Lavender and Grey. I was really excited for the Lavender one because it's so unique. Usually when Olens release collection like this, it's usually either brown, grey, olive, you know, those like standard normal colors. So when they feature Lavender as one of their 3 colors, I just thought it was really special. In terms of the diameter, this one is leaning towards a little bit of the enlargement side. The graphic diameter is actually 13.2mm and the graphic diameter is actually 14.2. This will only comes in 1 day, 10 pieces for now. It doesn't come in monthly, and the pricing for this one is $21. The way they have actually promoted this pattern is that it's supposed to give you this very floral aesthetic kind of look, but also leaning towards that mild look, which means that it's supposed to look very neutral, natural, like it's not obvious. It's a very subtle looking pattern, which I totally agree, because I feel like if I compare this with the French Gold, you don't see as much pattern towards this one. This one you can see very little pattern. It's very like just very one tone like, but when you look closely you can see a little bit of pattern if you really look hard, but not so much. But you guys will see what I mean when I actually describe each of the colors now. First one is a Hazel one, and this one New Jeans Hey was wearing it as part of the promotion, and this one I feel like it's definitely a very beautiful yellow, golden, a little bit of gray toned base. So it's more like a cool tone kind of color for this particular contact lens, but it's definitely very beautiful and has a very faint golden brown border as well, which is really nice. So I definitely love this, and I did have questions in terms of this with like the double tint, and I would have to say, comparing with the double tint, I would say the double tint is definitely much more natural towards me, just because this one is leaning much more towards a yellow tone and the double tint one is much more brown. So I'll put like a bit of a comparisons here as well if you guys are curious. Next one is Lavender, and this one was worn by New Jeans Danielle, and I absolutely love this. And I did mention in that video, even though it's like lavender, I mean, come on guys, I have to show you my lavender cup. My husband decided to surprise me with this one recently, so he was been trying to find this purple one for the longest time, and he finally found it. So yeah, I love my purple, I love anything lavender, and so when they released this, I was really happy with this. And I did mention with the pattern, even though it has some lavender color, depending on the lighting, you might see a little bit of gray tone to it. And I think by having that gray tone, it really gives you that really nice natural purple looking. It doesn't look unnatural at all. It is so wearable. I love it so much. It's such a unique, pretty purple color, and I just love everything about it. I love that it has a little bit of golden inside. I can definitely see more of the trio pattern when it comes to this particular color, and it's definitely like my top 5 favorite right now, which is crazy because we're only beginning of the year and I already absolutely love this lavender color so much already. Last but not least is this gray one, and I feel like with this gray pattern is very similar to the Hazel, where you don't really see much pattern to it. It's a lot of just one tone, but you can definitely see that golden border on the outside is very faint looking, and when going in you see that very nice like cool stone gray color, and then going in you see a little bit of that Hazel pattern towards it as well that has a little bit of stripiness to it. But again, it is so like natural looking that you can't really see much of it. And I feel like with this grey, I can actually see my iris a little bit more on the inside, just because it's so like transparent looking, if that makes sense. And I feel like with this one, it really reminds me of the Russian Velvet Grey a little bit too, which I'll put a little bit of a comparison. But obviously the Russian Grey one is definitely much more smaller in terms of diameter. This is much more of the larger version, but somehow this one doesn't give me like that sexy eye look. It gives me of that natural looking one for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's just a really weird feeling. But I also put like comparisons with the French one as well, so you guys can see the differences. Now we're gonna jump straight to the comparisons now, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious. What is the differences between the French Shine and the French Gold? So first of all, the French Shine itself is 13.2, whereas the French Gold, which I was surprised, is actually 13.1mm. But if I actually put it side by side, I wouldn't see much of the diameter differences because both of them already leans towards the enlargement side. I do, however, have to say that in terms of the patterns, I feel like the French Gold one is definitely way more obvious in terms of the pattern, because you see the border, you see how it's separated towards the inside, then you see a bit of that samurai pattern on the middle of the contact lens as well. But imagine putting like this transparent thing over it, you can actually see that this will be like the French Shine, which is like way more like transparent. It's not as opaque as the French Gold, if that makes sense. If I compare the French Shine Hazel and the French Gold Hazel, the colors are pretty much similar as well, but I feel like the French Shine one is definitely much more yellower compared to the French Gold Hazel, and obviously the pattern for the French Gold one is definitely much more obvious. The other some colors that I will compare is the French Shine Grey and the French Gold Grey, and similar as well. I feel like the colors are pretty much identical, but again the pattern is completely different. If you like the French Gold color but you don't like that the pattern is so obvious, then go for the French Shine Grey because the pattern is not as obvious. With the other two colors, the olive for the French Gold and the French Shine Lavender, both colors are unique in this collection, so I can't do a comparisons of them, but I would have to say which colors I prefer, which pattern. I think I still lean towards my French Gold more just because I love more pattern, but I also see why I like this French Shine as well. I think if I have to pick favorites between these two collections, I would say I love the French Shine Lavender from this collection. I love the French Gold Olive collection as well. So I love a bit of both. They are definitely different and similar at the same time, if that makes sense. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.